Just a room for love. Be sure to hit the like, share this content, let friends, neighbors know where to go when it's time. And I mean just that time to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. The Cowboys are a really good team.
What more do you want from me?
Yeah, as they say, one thing we all adore, something worth dying for. There's nothing but pain. We're stuck in this game, searching for fortune and what? Fame. Yup. Ain't no party like a cowboy party. But what about a podcast party? Come on, let's get it. Stand tall or not at all, baby. Mama said there'll be days just like this. To the window and to the wall. 5, 4, 3, 2, and come on with it. Come on with it. Who losing? Who losing? Who losing? There's Riggs. Run from it. Destiny arrives all the same. But come on, baby. But now it's here. I am. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Appreciate everybody, man, for tuning in. We're a good team. Give me that good news. Thank you. Good news. Thank you. Come on, baby. All right. Tankathon, man. Put tank in the chat if you of the notion that you're tanking or the Cowboy tanking. What you thinking, baby? The longest intro, outro on the planet, baby. Let's go. Appreciate everybody, man. Thank you, C. Appreciate you, Michael. Thank everybody, man, for tuning in. Salute to Frenkel and Frenkel. They are producing and sponsoring this show. Not producing, but sponsoring this show, as well as Underdog. So appreciate all of the sponsors for doing their job over here. Yeah. It froze on your intro, man. Hey, I hope all is well, baby. I don't like to lose, you know, and I know y'all don't like to lose. I know y'all don't like to lose, and we don't like to lose, and we are in a situation whereas the Cowboys are in a strange era, you know. New media. Have you ever seen jobs out there that says help wanted? They just have a poster that say help wanted, you know. And this is strange land for us, man. I'm not saying that I'm defeated, but to a degree I'm defeated with them boys, man. Right. But what happened? I thought we were still them boys. There used to be a good decorum of football. There used to be a situation whereas you give it 72 hours to reflect. But the new boys, the new media, after a loss, they shooting music videos. They in the club getting tipsy, you know. But I'm still them boys. Them boys. I'm still them boys. Shoot. That's what we are. We still them boys. But my God, they my boys. They my boys. Trayvon Diggs, Parson, they my boys. They my boys. But after a loss, them boys take a morning after pill, don't they? I said, man, wait a minute. I thought the morning after pill supposed to go to the ladies, man. Them boys taking a morning after pill. and they are back up here talking and stuff. We still mad. They talking, So after the morning after, jeez. Oh my gosh. So I love the optimism. And for those who need it to be in tune to what I'm talking about, like what Law talking about, man? What is he rambling about this morning? I get it, hold tight, hold on to your britches, because I'm about to literally post this video of these boys talking, and I get it, man. It's the Cowboys way now, and I said no way, but it is possible that, this is going to be the real dealness, that everybody is going to be on these type of conversation levels. Let me see if I can pull it up. Come on with it, baby.
I'm going to put this out there. We're a damn good football team. I know the scores ain't showing it, and I know obviously people feel like we got so many missing pieces, but I just truly believe like you almost got to go to things like the things that we messing up on.
How come we can't just prove that on the field? How come we just can't prove that on the field, baby? That's all I'm saying. If we're a damn good football team, just prove it to us, man. I'm like Doubting Thomas, man. Let me fill the holes in the hands. I need to know, can you give me something?
I think our defense is really turning things around. Like up until that last quarter when they got that touchdown defense, we only really gave up those 2 touchdowns in that first quarter. But other than that, we gave up 6 points in the other 2 quarters. So I just know that say what you're gonna say.
I agree. I think that the work that we be putting in the facility, and it's hard to overcome, and it's hard to just win the game with defense, and hard to just win the game.
Y'all see that right here? Is it update? We are a damn good football team. We are 29th in offense. That means 28 teams are ahead of you on offense. 28 teams are ahead of you. Like I can't make this stuff up. 28 teams are better than you on offense, right? We are the 31st ranked defense. Now, granted, to a degree, I can give Parsons just this. He's just coming back. But at the end of the day, you two right here, Parsons. No. Let me pull these, because they my boys. They're my boys, man. They my boys. But these two are on defense, right? Now, granted, if I'm reading this correctly, offense is 29th, defense is 31st. Based off of this metric alone, can somebody help me out? Are they on the worst end of this particular team? Hey, are they on the worst end of the team, right? At least it should be 2 special teamers up here. They are the 4th ranked. There's only 3 other teams that do stuff better than us on special teams, right? So let me get this straight. These two, which are pretty much our playmakers, they are guys, that's the Diggs and Parsons, baby, the double trouble, you know what I'm saying? You put 2 of us in the same room at the same time, troublesome, come on, baby, but I'm saying that them two got the 31st ranked defense. They on defense, they're now on offense. Listen to the rest of it.
Be all 3 cylinders, offense, defense, special teams. Everybody gotta be clicking in one. But I feel like we got a really good football team. I agree with you.
who gonna tell him that even if you hitting on 3 cylinders, he said we want to be hitting, and I get where he's going, but I just want to just help somebody out, right? If you have a 3-cylinder car, it's gonna do like this. It's not a rotary engine. You know what I'm saying? The saying is you got to be hitting on all 4 cylinders. There's a reason why that there are even numbers on a motor. Why? Can somebody let people know the reason why that there are even numbers on a motor? Why there's a 4-cylinder? Why there is a 6-cylinder, 8-cylinder? You know, and why people don't make 3-cylinder cars? Because the reason why, you got to have balance, baby. Come on, boy. So if you want to use the analogy, you're gonna have to use it correctly. That's all I'm saying, you know, because that stuff is not gonna be able to drive, you know. Yeah. That mug gonna shake, baby. Shake. You better fix them cylinders, boy. You be hitting on all 3 cylinders, it ain't gonna work out right. You better find that 4th one, because you got to hit on all 4 cylinders. Come on. And nobody likes to ride in a 4-cylinder car these days. Come on, baby.
Really do.
Yeah, I just hate that, the score don't really show how good we actually are. And I hate that, it seems like, especially for me, you know how good of a coach Al is and how good of a coach I think Zim's doing. I'm just speaking defensively. How good, our coaches have been. I just hate that outcome because our coaches is really doing an amazing job. And
and they study hard too, just to have a game plan for us, just to try to help us, when winning football, and it don't be working out.
I'm gonna put this out there: we're a damn good football team.
Yeah. My 4-cylinder with a turbo, twin turbos. Not one turbo, but a twin. JB2 says 4-cylinder with a twin turbo smoking any V6. You see, not by itself though, not just by a 4-cylinder by itself, and let me know what you're gonna do when you get up that hill, But it may be a smaller, lighter body. Yeah. But neither here nor there, Old boy says on Fast and the Furious, when Fast and the Furious was like understandable enough, he said, man, I need me an 8-second car, you know what I'm saying? Well, he was looking for an 8-second or a 10-second car, but neither here nor there. I get where they're coming from. The problem is nothing wrong with the message of them saying that, hey, we are a good team. We know that we are better than what we are playing at. I know what we can achieve. I know what we can accomplish. I know that these are the things that our coaching staff, they put up good stuff together to prepare us. Our coaching staff get us ready. We equipped to get out there to play. But somehow when we get out there on the field, we scribble up, we nut up, and we pause, we freeze out there, because at the end of the day, you still had 9 penalties, right? So you should be able to say to yourself, I'm playing for coach. I'm playing for coach. I'm running through the wall for coach. I'm going to be a disciplined team for coach. I'm going to make sure that I got things in order for coach, right? So what I'm saying is okay, these conversations that's happening now with the media or with podcasting is a new fad. It's new media. It's everything new. But if you're north of 40, right, and if you're north of 50 and 60, I don't foresee you enjoying this. I don't think that you will really like this. Now, content is content, because we love to content create over here, right? So at the end of the day, speak your mind. Speak what you have on your heart. But just know that when you speak your mind out to the open public about X, Y, and Z as a podcast, just like when you're out there on the field of playing, there's always going to be someone to critique and defend, or to take and excoriate, sully what you're saying. So that's just what I'm getting at, Cowboy Nation, is that At least they should have did the podcast today, man. Today is Wednesday. They did that podcast the next day. The very next day, the morning after boys, you know, they taking the morning after pill and they are talking about these things that really don't gravitate to any substance for us. We are hurt. We are feeling bad right now. We don't like to lose right now, you know, and getting up there and talking 45 minutes to an hour about this team. And then also within the confines of the podcast, talking about other teams, talking about the Texans should be worried about this, and they probably may not be a contender. It's the substance too. Can anybody let me know what was the final score? I thought that the team that whoop your ass get a chance to talk. Not you get your ass whooped and then you doing all of the talking. You know, hold me back. Wait till the next time. Laugh now, cry later. You know, hold me back. Hold me back. It's not fair to the other folks too. Let me at them. Let me at them, right? Yeah. I think that was on Lion King, you know. He said, let me at him, let me at him, let me out, let me out. 34-10. It speaks volumes. It's just a tone-deaf movement. And granted, those boys, man, Michael Parsons, let me just say this, him and Osa, they had a line longer than Jay Leno's chin just yesterday. Because not only did they did the podcast, but Osa and Michael Parsons, they also handed out turkeys for, I think, is the city of Duncanville, right? So we need to also elaborate on that, right? They do good things for the community, but I'm talking optics now, you know, because giving turkey out to the less fortunate, right, or finding ways to help families, being able to have a meal during these time frames is very important. Give me that any day versus sitting down, going over the Cowboys' pitfalls and saying that we are a good team. We are a really good team. It just don't reflect that right now. You know what I'm saying? It just don't reflect that right now. You know, it's just what it is. It's just crazy. Drew P says, I'd rather deal with a stupid podcast than a White House law. You talking about the drug days. But they were winning back in the days. You know what I'm saying? Would you rather for Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin, Emmett to have a podcast versus whatever they was doing and not win? No. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I get it. But at the end of the day, we can talk about things that, okay, would you rather for these guys to do X, Y, and Z? Would you rather for them to be in the house versus being out there in the streets gambling? Yes, we can all say this, right? Right? There's Detroit Lions fans with a lot of hope right now, right? Would you rather be a Detroit Lions fan with their stretch of hope, or would you rather be a Cowboy fan with our stretch of hope, but we got things that we can look back on and say, yeah, we got 5 of them at least, you know? So, yeah, it's all – here's what I can say right here. Objectivity is a good thing. Subjectivity is also a good thing. Success will always be subjective. Let me repeat. Success will always be subjective. Because how can you measure, right? How can you measure? Somebody making $15 an hour, that could be very successful to them, right? Somebody making $25 an hour, that could be very successful to them. It all depends on how they look at it, right? They can say, well, you know, my parents, my foreparents, or the people that's in my generation never made $25 an hour. I'm making $25 an hour, right? Subjectively speaking, that's very successful when you compare the two between this generation to the last generation. But there's somebody that looks at the check, and if they look at that paybook or they look at that check and it's $25 an hour, they would be mad. I like the way Chris Rock said. I like the way Chris Rock said it in stand-up comedy about 30 years ago or 20 years ago. He had a stand-up comedy, and he said that Shaq is rich, but the person who signs the check is wealthy, right? He says Oprah is rich. She's rich. Bill Gates is wealthy. He said that if Bill Gates woke up with Oprah Winfrey's money, he would jump out of a plane and say, "Oh, I'm broke," and slice his throat and slice his wrist before he hit the ground. Because those are all subjective thoughts, right? On one end, Bill Gates, he got a lot of money. You know, on the other end, we looking at Oprah, she got a lot of money. But it's to two different points, right? That's all I'm saying. We can say, yeah, the Cowboys 3-7 now. Laugh now, cry later. Parsons talking now. Diggs talking now. But next year, all this is going to do is be a comeback for a good situation. We got the 9th pick right here. It can put us in high hopes, is depending on who we going to get in this particular draft. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's just what it is. Generational wealth, Roger M. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Chris Rock was very, 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 very comical in that piece there. Yeah. But it is what it is. Yeah, he said, you can't satisfy a woman. You can't, you know. You make more money than her. You're not the owner of me. You can't control me. She make more money than you. Yo, you get in there. You worthless piece of stuff, you know. You can't satisfy this world. You make more money than her. She's telling you that you can't. You're not the boss of me. She make more money than you. Hey, she telling you worthless. You know, it's just the life we live in, baby. But shout out to Chris Rock, man. He's a really good comedian. Probably one of the greats out there as it relates to top 5 or what have you. But I'll say this, though. When you put things out there, it's going to leave openings for other people to get at you with that. Yeah, here's another diamond, girl, you know. Yeah. Let me find this clip right quick. Appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for jumping in and tuning in.
Stephen A., I'm coming right to you. Do you believe Micah believes this?
He might, but that just shows how ignorant he is. I have to say. Ladies and gentlemen, Micah Parsons, listen, football players is a very violent sport. One play can end your career. Micah Parsons has a podcast, and obviously he has aspirations for making some noise in that stratosphere. That is the kind of stuff that will ruin. Because that's just an asinine statement on his part. Makes absolutely no sense. You can't run the football. You can't stop the run. You can't defend the pass. Defensively, you've been horrid. Offensively, you got one receiver, okay? You got a quarterback in Dak Prescott that ain't even in the lineup, and when he was in, they were still stinking so bad, by the way, that he was caught on camera saying we stink, and that's not the word he used. Yet Micah Parsons will come out in public and on a public platform and say one of the most asinine statements that I've ever heard come out of his mouth. We're a good team. What happened to Bill Parcells? You are what your record says you are. What happened to other coaches and other players that sit up there and talk about the bottom line? The bottom line is the Dallas Cowboys are a losing team. They're on a fast track to nowhere.
It's crazy, boy. Woo! Well, we don't listen to the 3-letter, the 4-letter network. They produce equivalency of 8 to 9 million views daily. That's 8 to 9 million people when we walk around with this silver and blue on. regurgitating, spitting and spewing out the same things that these boys are spitting out to the airwaves. And enough spit that's out there gets on you. We are vibrational frequency people, right? And what happens here is that it's not by the element of surprise in my mind that some of these injuries, some of these irregularities that happen in the game is through the consciousness of people's thoughts. So if a man thinketh, so if he. You know what I'm saying? So we shape everything we do in our thoughts, and we speak them to in existence. That area where Michael Parsons says we a damn good team could be very much so tangible. But right now you got to know how to read the road. You got to know how to walk within the right time and place to say things, I read that there was a time for war, there's a time for peace. There's a time to love, and there's a time for hate. Believe it or not, it states that in a book. A time to hate, believe it or not. In speaking out of that time, there's consequences. There's repercussions. We speaking out of turn, baby, and I ain't out of time. We not in our lane. Friction is necessary. Without it, you can't walk. Everything can't be smooth. Rain is necessary. Without it, nothing will grow. When you pray for rain, you got to deal with the mud too. Denzel Washington. Write that down in your mind. You praying for rain, but also you got to deal with the consequences. Right? You say a cultivator takes the unmanageable territory or terrain and he cultivates it. He got to know that over there, even though it's plush with greenery and it gets the right amount of water and all of that stuff, but over here, you got to cultivate. You got to break up. Just because you got the land doesn't mean it's going to grow. So, you got to work the field. You got to break up the hard soil and loosen it up. Who knows that, right? And then you got to wet it and moisturize it, right? So that when you do plant your seeds, that it can gravitate and grab hold to the substance of the soil. The Cowboys continue to throw seeds on dry land and expecting the same results that these other teams cultivating for, getting. We're living off of the old. We're living off of the past. We're living in not the present. Some people, you probably won't hit you until 10 years from now and say, man, that guy with that beard and that damn hoodie, he was spitting the truth, man. Yeah, there's some people that will hate and discard what I'm saying now. But man, when they get a little older, when they get into their 40s, when they get into their 50s, when they get into their 60s, they be like, damn, that doggone law, boy, he telling us the truth. I just wish I understood what he was saying when I was in my 20s, right? This is what it is, baby.
And I listened to Jerry say some of the things that he has been saying, which has made no sense whatsoever. I mean, we put it up on a big screen. We put it up on a big screen for Jerry to see, and then we read it. We had Molly read the quote over, and then we went like this. Does anybody understand what the hell that meant or what he is saying? So we got an owner, a president, and a GM that we don't understand what the hell they're saying. We got a team that we don't understand how the hell they look, other than awful. And then we got a star linebacker that's coming out there on his podcast and saying something like this that is not reminiscent of anything that he himself with his greatness has personified on the football field. It's an asinine statement that makes no sense whatsoever. I don't know what the hell is wrong with Mike Parsons.
Yeah.
How do you?
So, not to turn this into ESPN, shout out to him though, but for the audio, everything is within the confines of fair use on that because we breaking it down and we talking about it, right? Outside of that, shout out to Tankathon. This is their version of a mock draft. When you look at it, they saying number 1, it will be Travis Hunter going to the Jags. That's just what it says right there, Number 2, it will be Shador and them going to the Titans. Which I think that if that happens, if Shador goes to the Titans, I think Deion Sanders will intervene. He said that he want his son in a warm climate. Well, Nashville ain't that cold, but it do get cold. But he want his son in a dome type of situation, from what I heard, But neither here nor there. Shador goes to the Titans. Mason Graham, according to Tankathon, they've been right on these picks too, by the way, if you follow them. Mason Graham going to the Browns. Cam, he's going to the Giants, man, the G-man. That's going to be crazy because all they have to do now, if you are the Giants, you can get Cam Ward now, get Ollie Gordon in the second, or trade back into the first to get Ollie Gordon. And depending on who coach they get, they can have a similar run like the Washington right now. I think that the Giants are equivalently maybe a quarterback away from making some noise and a few tweaks here. They still have a top 10 defense, as bad as they are. We bad, but we are bad, but they are badder, but with better defense, right? If I could put that into other conversations. So with that being said, Will Johnson, he's going to the Raiders. Another cornerback off the board. He's pretty good. Then another Will Campbell, LSU action pile guy. He's going to the Patriots. Abdul Carter, he's going to the Jets. Boy, good. And then McMillan, he's going to the Carolina. And that's such a Carolina move right there, right? They get rid of Mingo and they pick him up, hey. And then they will have also him and Xavier Leggett. That's a good situation. And I'm thinking that they're looking for a coach too. And then the Cowboys, they go and get a Texas guy, Kelvin Banks Jr., 6'4", 324 pounds, man. Which I like Kelvin Banks because that's such a Cowboys move right here. You can't argue that we don't need an offensive lineman. And Law, I thought we said we don't draft needs. We drafting BPA. Well, he's the best player available. Outside of Genty, we passed up on Genty. Oh Lord. Damn. That's such a Cowboys move because we definitely need would you rather have the running back or you rather have the person that can protect the quarterback plus whatever running back you get? we might run back Rico. Shit. McMillan is way better than Mingo. Yes, you're right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, our past shows exactly this. Yeah, it shows exactly this. It will be literally, we'd be like, JT, 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 JT. And with the ninth pick of the 2025 draft, the Cowboys select Kelvin Banks Jr. out of Texas, you know. And we can't be mad at it because that's just how that goes, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen. That's where we've been at, you know. Yeah. That's where we've been. It's just like we are the offensive line boys. We need an offensive line every year because we don't will and deal. We don't sacrifice. Well, my God, what Uncle, we don't make the sacrifice. So we got to
Sacrifice.
Draft picks for an offensive lineman. We do. We do, man. That would be the right move. Kelvin Banks Jr. Let me tell y'all how we wet the bed. We got literally 2 in a possible on this offensive line. 2 in a possible, like when you playing spades, and one could probably say 1 in a possible. But I ain't gonna do my guy Cooper BB like that. You don't know who Tyler Guyton is. You definitely got growing pains with center as it relates to Cooper BB. My guy Zach Martin, he don't need to play no more. You know, let me just being real. He's tarnishing his legacy right now. He just need to say, hey, disappear like my guy Thor's dad. You know, just disappear with it. Odin, go off and just disappear. And I ain't trying to put limitations on my brother. Today is Zach Martin's birthday, so put, 70 birthday in the chat. Happy birthday. And Terrence Steele. Let's be real with Terrence Steele, bro. He gonna get somebody killed out there, man. Quarterbacks literally running for their life, man. When Terrence Steele's 78 out there, shoot, he and I don't like to say this about boy. But when Terrence Steele did this right here, I hit the lottery of life. I don't supposed to be here. I'm undrafted. And I got generational money now, man. I got my own money. $52 million guaranteed of it. Yeah, he haven't been the same since. So we got one offensive lineman that you can really bang the table on, and that is Tyler Smith. That's the only offensive lineman that we can really say, Yeah, and my guy Nate Newton, he's very high on Awesome Richards, but the Cowboys not. The need to be right is the Cowboys' way. The need to be right. Law, what you think about Mason Graham? I think that he's a phenomenal player. But it's just like in the words of Mike McCarthy, just like anything. Mason Graham, he's up here, but we would end up getting, what's the other guy? We'd end up getting Kenneth Grant. That's the Cowboys pick right there. It might not be Mason Graham, but it'd be Kenneth Grant,
They can come closer than close, yeah.
Did it? The Dallas Cowboys select Kenneth Grant, you know what I'm saying? or Coastin Loveland, baby. Yeah, they go Coastin Loveland, baby. Oh my gosh, man. Oh my God. That's just what we are with the draft thing because we leaned it on the draft too much. And I'm not being mad, negative guy, but I'm just telling y'all how it is. Who really in the chat? Which one of y'all banged on the table for Tyler Guyton? You know, like, hey, Tyler Guyton, when he get here, woo, he going to help alleviate this thing with what we call offensive line. Which one of y'all banged on the table for Mozzie? Which one of y'all banged on the table for Schoonmaker, right? None of y'all did, right? So I'm just telling y'all how it is. On top of that, when they get here, of course, I'm not going to speak negative on those boys. I'm going to speak life into them. You know, I'm going to say, hey, man, this guy right here, hopefully he'll be able to bust through some things for us, right? Chaz Green in the third, baby. You know, another $52 million project. Yeah. Second round Michigan D-line. Yeah. So it's just what it is, man. Taco Charlton's, Tristan Hills. Yes, we can talk about Trayvon Diggs. We can talk about Michael Parsons. Those are good pickups for us. Tyler Smith is a really good pickup for us. So we do hit too. But damn, our misses, baby, it hurt. They hurt because our misses don't. Our misses be missing, boy. Jeez. I'm talking about a fall from grace, man. Look, good Lord. But neither here nor there. Cowboy Nation, I really love y'all to the moon and back. I want to say this while I pull up this clip right here. Hold on real quick. Here we go. Let me say this right here. Boom. 1 second here. Don't wait to play, but download the app today. I want you guys to do me a huge favor and download Underdog. Let me see if I can pin it to the top because they are one of our sponsors we finna get into just briefly. Underdog, and appreciate everybody for your support. We'll open up the phone lines and these sorts of things. The Cowboys are 3-7, and while I'm setting up everything, there's been other news about the Cowboys' decision making in this particular coaching lookups, and we had my guy Michael Irvin to speak upon this. Let me get him on here.
News today, you do believe, and I do too, that if Shador went to the Cowboys, Dion would accept the job.
I believe 100%, and I can tell you, good sources have told me that. Great sources have told me that. That's all I can say like that without violating anything else.
The playmate. I love having news.
I want to talk about that. Tony says, Law, what do you think of Tony Romo as the offensive coordinator? Not happening. That's what I'm thinking. First and foremost, brilliant idea. If anything, I would love for Tony Romo to be a defensive coordinator. Shoot, have you saw him call the games and call out what the defenses, what they need to do and these sorts of things against the pass? But here's my thoughts, though. Tony Romo will not take a pay cut to coach here. Money moves the needle. Money is where it's at. With less hours, he makes more money. There's no win or loss when you're doing broadcasting. And you can do that and wait until you're like Pat Summerall age, third and long, John. You can do that forever. Coaching, you can too, but you got to handle with 53 and 10 other guys on the practice squad. Over 60 guys you got to handle. Whereas Tony Romo, he looks at the game, watch the game, and he do the play-by-play, and he's good. And he gets more money. Jerry, the problem with the Cowboys are the lack of money that you spend for the coaching and having high expectations. Yeah, and 225 says Romo have 0 experiences. Yeah. Third and long. That's that Pat Summerall. But to my guy, the playmaker point, that I think he's fed it bad news. Because what you want to do, and shout out to you, John Bradley, appreciate you for the $12 cash app. Appreciate you, man. The bad news about this right here.
Today, you do believe.
The bad news about this. You can't have a draft session and then hire your coach. That's like putting the cart in front of the horse. I'm going to give y'all so many analogies, man. That's like buying the gas before you buy the car. Like, I'm going to buy all of the gas, then I'll buy the car. No. It don't work that way. You want your coaching staff to have his principles and philosophies. You want your coaching staff to be able to say, hey, this is where I'm going at. This is what I need. This is the type of defense I'm running. So I'm going to have this particular guy in mind. Or you want your coaching staff to say, hey, I'm going to be a run first team. I need me a grinder. I need Genty. I don't need Shador. You know, even if the Cowboys do draft Shador, you got to have a wrap up for him. So no, that won't work. Prime also shot this whole thing down, but he also was crafty enough and smart enough to say, hey man, money moves. You know what I'm saying? The money would dictate what he's going to do for the future. And I'm going to break it down even further about the whole aspect of Shador here in Dallas versus you got another quarterback that's getting paid $250 million. That contract goes all the way into the year 2032. It's 2024 right now. Jeez. Scott says, appreciate you so much for your support. What do you think about it Dallas drafting Shiloh Sanders at safety? Would Deion still come to Dallas and after that contract is up, go get Shador Sanders in a trade? What if Shiloh ain't good? You know, I'm just saying, you know, what if he don't beat out Wanye? Is he better than Wanye? Is he better than Bell? Hope all is well with Bell. Will the Cowboys say, no, we still paying Wilson? Wilson is our guy, you know. 21 will be available now because 21 goes to Carstens, right? So I just don't know if you can even do that. And what if Shador ain't that good when he get to the pros, you know? I'm just saying, you know, what would be the whole point of trading for him? But what if by the time you do that, shoot, he's asking for $250 million. By the time in 4 or 5 more years, shoot, the salary cap for quarterbacks is going to be crazy high. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be crazy high. Kangaroo high. Yeah. So I don't know, man. You don't. Here's the thing. You don't do that. You definitely don't do that. You evaluate this draft. You go BPA. You don't draft guys to say, hey, I'm doing this to squeeze and get the coach that we want. Just pay the coach. Yeah, so that's all I'm saying. What we got to do is we can't play political football and expect to win. You can't have two masters with this. You know, you can't be a team that glorifies being out there in the public and out there in the media, hosting fights like Jake Paul and Logan Paul and Rue Paul and Tyson and all of those boys and expect to have it both ways. No. That time that you're spending on getting players, not football players, but other players on other sports here, could be time that you in that room, in that film room, in that study tapes, in those contracts, willing and flipping the deals around, burning the midnight oil, understanding that you got to have sense of urgency, understanding that if you mess up, you can be losing your job. You's about to lose your job. You got to have that type of mindset. We don't have that here. Hey, Eagles fans know all about it. Shoot. Yeah, they know all about it. Just a few years ago, they were ready to say, hey, Howie, walk the planks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Howie had to roll his sleeves up. He's on a call right now. I thought the trade deadline is over. No, we still can negotiate this. Yeah. But neither here nor there, Cowboy Nation. I just want to be able to talk about this prize where we can get over here to win, and that's underdogs. Pick 'em. I tell you right here, this game is tomorrow. You can go in with these particular selections and pick your picks, and you can win your prize over here with my guys, the underdog. Now, granted, they got Sierra Husband over here. You can go higher or lower than 0.5 passing, or you can go with George Pickens. Shout out to him. You can go higher or lower with 0.5 rushing. I already made my selections here, but when you do this, let's look into Nick Chubb. He's coming back from this injury thing, and I know that they probably want to get him going just because I know that they out of it. They already punted for this season. They probably run the ball, and they got him higher or lower than 51.5. You can select high right here and be high with it. Jerry Jeudy, you know, they got him 3.5 receptions. Higher or lower, I think he can catch 4 balls, pause if necessary, you know, and then you can go, and I got to pick 2 from a different team right here, so bear with me. Let me see what else they got here. Appreciate everybody, man, for jumping in on their underdog picks over here. So let me go with Najee Harris lower. Let me go with, I wonder if I go with your pick 3. Let me see if I can cash it in right here, and we'll win some dollars over here. Appreciate everybody. No future picks. Let me put like $12 in on here. I put $12 in there in honor of Roger. There we go. 12. Let's see 12 can turn to 63, baby. So if that happened, man, we have a little parade right here. Come on with it. I'm going to share this with all of y'all. Just use Underdog. When y'all use Underdog, y'all can be the dog like me, man. Come on with it. No Cowboy, no law. About 2 or 3 months ago, Eagle fans wanted Howie Heads. Yeah. And Sirianni, until he cut his hair, shoot, he was on his way out. You know, that boy 5-0 since he cut his hair. I wonder if Mike McCarthy can try that. You know, cut your hair, Mike. Let's see if that worked. Man, I'm just joking. I'm just joking over here. You got to take some jokes. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a dog, not a horse, not an elephant, not a giraffe, but a dog, like an underdog, right? And you fool around and get behind a wheel. You guys know where I'm going with this, baby. You get behind a wheel of a car, you know what I'm saying? And somebody wasn't paying attention. and they run smack into you, and I'm talking about really smack into you, who you gonna call? I ain't talking about Ghostbusters. Who you gonna call? Come on, y'all, put it in the chat. Who you gonna call, you know?
It starts from the first phone call. Most of the time, you're going to talk to Gene Burkett, a 30-year partner. You're not going to talk to some employee that just got put on the phones that day.
There are things that are so crucial, especially if it's a cataclysmic event, to have our experts get out and look at the vehicle, witness statements, photos, the whole thing.
Call Frenkel first.
Chosen by the people, feared by the insurance companies. Call Frenkel first.
214 and 817 and all of the threes your finger can dial, right? If you got one of them AI phones, you can just say, call Frenkel, and they'll probably call them up, you know what I'm saying? Frenkel and Frenkel Law Firm, they're located here in Dallas. That's the big D for those who don't know. Let's get it. Let's open up the phone lines for your mind. Mama said there'll be days just like this, but keep it real. We the 3 and 7 boys, baby. Come on with it. My number is 657-390-7391. That's the hotline for your mind. I got my guy, my brother. We gonna have to give him some flowers on the front end, man. I hate when he's right, but he was right. I give him his flowers for the 214. Darius, you're live on the nation, man. The guy been, bro, you been out on that doggone Mike McCarthy since day 5.
You better freaking believe it. You better freaking believe it. Yeah. By the way, I'm gonna need an apology. I got a list of people I'm gonna need an apology from. Like Computer, Nation, 100 grand.
Oh my God!
A lot of y'all. I'm gonna need an apology from a lot of people. A lot of goofies in the chat.
You gotta listen.
I'm gonna need an apology.
They won't apologize. You know.
Now all of y'all sound like who? You sound like me.
Now it took about 4 or 5 years, but everybody sounded like Darius now. Oh my God! But here's the truth though. Here's the truth. Now, come on, can we level this way? Now Jerry Jones got it. Jerry and Steven got a piece of this, right? Yeah. But you was right though. The Cowboys should have fired. You said the Cowboys should have fired Mike McCarthy, and at least brought in Harbaugh. I like when you go back and watch the Chargers play. I love that style of play, bro. They're gonna do some things in the future. I believe that in the next 2 or 3 years, the Chargers is gonna be like consistently the Chargers, the Ravens, and the Chiefs. Gonna be just like, and the Denver to the degree, those gonna be the 4 powerhouse teams over there.
Yeah. The coach of the Denver Broncos.
Yes, Peyton. Mm-hmm.
I wonder who was high on him as well.
Yeah, right. you was.
Oh,
you know.
But Mike McCarthy and Sean Payton is the same coach. No, they're not.
Yeah, they definitely not. They definitely not. Peyton got some balls down there, man, and some moxie. I was talking to who was it? I had him on the show when we did the thing, and he played. I think it was Gerard. Gerard was telling me about Sean Payton, and he knew that the Denver was going to beat the Saints because of the fact that that the coach there shrivel up and get nervous when he sees Sean Payton, because Sean Payton was so Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen. He said Dennis Allen was so scared of Sean Payton that he literally started sweating and had seizures. You know what I'm saying? I said, damn, Sean Payton was that. He said, yeah, Law. This is Andre Gerard. He said that he just goes into a panic. So he said before the game, he says it's impossible for the Saints to win tonight, because he know that Dennis Allen was scared, was in complete fear of Sean Payton. and at that time, Saints were still kind of like scoring, moving things around. And they lost that game, and Denver beat the brakes off of them because of the coaching. But go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, outside of this one point, I called for one reason and one reason only, and I'm not gonna waste your time, Law, because I'm about to get busy. I'm finna get freaking busy on this boy. I called for what outside of this point that I'm finna make to you. I called to speak to 100 freaking grand. I'm finna go ballistic on this young man. So outside of this point, that's the only reason I called. Now, don't you find it funny that the Chiefs, how they can literally do a three-peat? If you listen to all the OGs, especially guys like Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, Jimmy Johnson, if you listen to all of them and you listen to what it took to get and build a dynasty, it seems like they have to, and guys like Nick Saban to a degree as well, and, on the college front, how they always talk about what it takes in order to get rid of complacency, the level, the mindset that it takes to have a dynasty and keep your players on point to where they're constantly hungry to constantly win. I don't know if we realizing it right now, but the Chiefs are literally doing that, and it don't seem like it's taking. They doing it effortlessly, seemingly.
Right.
I don't want to call it like they doing it like really easy, but it seems like in the Jimmy Johnson days and with Nick Saban, it seemed like it just took so much out of them, and for whatever reason, the Chiefs just look like they just kind of doing it like, bruh, they just won a Super Bowl last year. They undefeated. They was undefeated. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of want to get your take on that. It's like, damn, like it just seemed like back in the day, and when you hear these guys, these guys from these dynasties, talk about how much it took to keep guys' minds right.
Right.
It just seems like the Chiefs just
now, although the Chiefs done it easily, or it appears to be easily, because nothing easy in the NFL, and they did lose to the Bills, and you're not going to win every game, right? This is not the 72 Dolphins, but like you said, they are on par with those things, because that staff there, they don't have to look over their shoulder. Spag is not going to stab Andy Reid in the back. Reid ain't gonna do it to Spags. They were once two enemies. You know what I'm saying? One was in the Eagles, one was with the Giants, right? And they collided forces together, and they figure out ways to win, bro. And when I look at everything collectively, the organization, nobody know what the owner sound like, look like, whether he got kids, side pieces and everything. Yeah. So they are in a better light. And then on top of that, Pat Mahomes is money, so that team is an organization franchise. I'm hasting and I'm wishing that they do move to Dallas so that at least the Joneses can look at a team on how things should be operated and looked upon. I'm hasting for them, and I want them to move to Dallas. I want the Chiefs to move here, just like perfect competition. You want Burger King needed McDonald's. McDonald's needed Burger King, right? And while they fighting each other, Chick-fil-A, Chick-fil-A took over everything.
Well, that's a good ass point. Like, you might be onto something with that.
Yeah,
no cap.
Appreciate you, man.
I will say this too. If I'm saying something, I think it goes to show. Like if I'm 10 toes down on something, I think people might want to listen to your boy. I think I've been proven time and time again correct. And also I said, by the way, Kellen Moore might do better than you think in Philadelphia. I also said that.
I mean, shoot, put me as a coordinator, man. I do good. AJ Brown, Smitty, and then Saquon Barkley, Chico, man. Come on with it. Let me. But I'll sabotage. Now I'll sabotage.
Yeah. Run the ball. Yeah. Curl routes and shit.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
You can actually fumble that roster.
Yeah, you can't. but you can. But at the end of the day, man, talent will outweigh everything, man. It's called what we call margins of error. When you don't have the see right now, if I'm a billionaire, you can drive drunk down through Dallas, right? Hit something, and then you can just say, hey, I can order a toxicology report on the opposing person that I hit, and get off of it. You know, there's a president, first lady that did that. Oops, I'm talking too loud. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling in, bro.
hey, I'm gonna sit back. Hey, I'm gonna be in the call too.
Okay.
I'm waiting for 100 grand.
You waiting for me? That boy on.
I'm waiting for that ass. Yeah.
Jeez, man. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, Darius, man. He's just waiting on 100 grand, man. But when you have money, it do provides a little error, margins of error that yours be bigger opposed to someone that don't, right? You can be like, well, hey, were the lines drawn correctly? Was it the right zoning area? You know, that's just what it is. It's just what it is. Unfortunately, that's life too. But when you don't have talent, when you don't have the money, you go into the slams, man. If you don't have insurance, you go into the slams for real. But you have some money. Shoot. Y'all level up on some life insurance around here. Yeah. Use promo code LAW somewhere. Level up on some life insurance, you know. Shoot. Talking about this and that. Shoot. Nobody gonna accidentally shoot you or go after you when you have money. Shoot. Them insurance companies gonna be like, oh, wait a minute. This brother got a $10 million policy. Wait a minute. Hold on. Now, which one of y'all shot him? You know, because we finna give you the axe. Yeah. But if you don't have it, then, you know, hey. But that's too deep of a conversation right now. I got from the 630, and then I got my guy Adam. So hold tight. And I see you in the chat, Uncle Charles. But from the 630, you're live.
Hey, Law. I called you prior to week 1 in Browns, and it's been a disappointment since, but I enjoy listening to the show.
Hey, man, I thank you, man. Thank you so much, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm just curious. Do you see the Cowboys making any moves in the free agency? I was just looking at all the different position groups. I feel like there's 2 players on the team, CD and Micah. Those are the only 2 a rookie can't beat out.
Yeah.
My opinion.
You're talking about free agency for the 2025s?
Yeah. Well, I just think we got so many holes that you got like you said, two plus on the offensive line. Defensive line needs players. You could say cornerback or defensive back needs help. We need running back, wide receiver, all of it. So I'm just curious, do you see us making any move in free agency? I think you have to.
I don't think they will, because the play will be the Cowboys don't have the money. The play will be the Cowboys can't spend the money because we got to figure out ways to pay Michael Parsons, right? We got Bland contract is up. So that's going to be the angle for the Cowboys, unfortunately, on why they're not going to make any moves. And then they got to say, they're going to say, we did make moves because we signed our own guys. You know how that play goes, right? Because we got 25 to 27 guys that's free agents on this team for next year.
That's crazy to me. That's difficult to watch. So
yeah, difficult.
You see 2 or 3 seasons of less than 8 or 500.
Say that again.
Do you see with the situation we're in? Do you see more than this season where we're less than 500?
Yeah, I don't like. I want us to win out. Trust me, I want us to win out. I think we have a strong possibility and a chance to beat the Washington team next. You know, but it's gonna be. We got to play precise football and et cetera. But I think that what will happen here is that their depths is just going to be so much better than ours, and then they're going to pull away in the third and fourth quarter. It's always that third quarter that teams jump up on us, and we just don't have enough legs, man, to keep up with them. So I think that we can put up a fight, but our only 2 chances of winning a game down the stretch, in my opinion, will be the Giants and the Panthers. Those are the only 2 games that I'm seeing that we can probably pull off. But outside of that, bro, it's an uphill battle when I look at everything, you know.
Yeah. Well, I hope you're wrong about the free agency, but
I hope I am too, bro. I hope I'm extremely wrong about that, bro. I don't like the fact that we don't dance around in free agency. I don't like the fact that we don't know how to match things. Whereas our draft picks, we say our draft picks are nice. We're a good draft and developing team, but we're a terrible free agent team. We're a terrible transaction acquisition team as it relates to trades. So those are two departments that we fail in. But even though we get A pluses in drafting, it don't mean anything when you flunking and failing in free agency and as well as with those transactions for trades.
Yeah, I think I got to make a prediction. I think we sign at least one starter on the offensive line in free agency.
Ooh.
I don't think you can go into next season with 2 second-year players, a rookie, and then a bad offensive lineman and Steele, and then a rookie, and then an all-pro in Smith, of course. But I think you got to get at least one in free agency.
At least one. I agree with that. That's what we've been asking for years now. We was telling the Jerry Jones people on our podcast is that we're not asking for the sun and the moon. But what about them trees over there? What about that rock, man, that mountain? Can we get that? We're not asking for the galaxy. And that's what I was saying. Bring in a veteran guy to help alleviate the aspect that Diggs is coming back from an ACL thing, right?
Right.
You didn't sign Stephon Gilmore. So that's a big drop in talent, right? But the Cowboys, what they do is they pound their chest so heavily on their draft, and they say, well, we got our Diggs, we got our Gilmore replacement at the house, and his name is Kalen Carsons. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we at, bro. And unfortunately, it's a crazy situation for the Cowboys to be in because this is how they think. It's their thought tracks.
Gotcha. Well, hey, man, I just want to wish you a good day. I know you're warmer than I am down there. Up here in Montana, it's 16.
Woo!
Enjoy the heat.
Hey, come on with it. You in football weather. Come on. Well, not necessarily, but that's a good call from him. And he brought a good point, man. Here are the free agent lists for 2025. You got Stephon Diggs. He's a unrestricted free agent. T. Higgins, Keenan Allen. And these are your guys that's longer in the tooth. 30-year-old Stephon Diggs, 30-year-old Amari Cooper, which we would love to have him here. Chris Godwin, he will probably be a pick for the Cowboys. He coming off of an injury. We love the injury boys. Khalil Mack, that could be a tangible thing for us. He's 33 and 33 years old, man. Zach Martin, will be a free agent. Deontay Johnson, Cam Robinson. That would be a good pickup for us. But these money things, man, will always be in the way, too. For example, let me see. DeAndre Hopkins, he's 32. So these are your future free agent players, man. And if we go by, let's say we need an offensive lineman. Let me see if I can pull up an offensive lineman. And then we let Uncle Charles on. Just hold tight for me, Unc. Let me pull up O-line, OL. Okay. Zach Martin, Cam Robinson would be a good deal for us, but I think that the Vikings are going to read him up. They're going to keep him. Yeah. You got this left tackle who's 32, and that's old, man. And let's see what his market value will be, because it's all about the money here in Dallas, and they don't like to spend it. Yeah. Ain't no way. That $19.6 million is considered billions to the Cowboys. No, they'll be like, nah. We got our Garrett. We had a Garrett here already, So they wouldn't even do that, man. So we are in a situation whereas you got somebody who so used to cooking Thanksgiving meals and not allowing someone else to cook it because of tradition. And even though their food is terrible and bland, the family members just don't even say anything about it because that's just who the family members are. You know what I'm saying? They let Pops and Mama and them cook the food even though Auntie can cook it better, But they don't want to hurt Pop's feeling. But like Auntie Shirley cooked the best spaghetti though, Man, give me that unpearled spaghetti, man. But when nobody looking, they putting that damn plate upside down in the trash can. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Yeah. But you don't want to hurt Auntie Shirley's feelings because she been cooking that meal every single holiday. She cooked the same meal. But she ain't no good at it. And that's the Cowboys. Y'all know I'm telling the truth, right? Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Uncle Charles, you're live. Talk to me.
What's up, Law? How you doing, bro?
All is well. Appreciate you.
Listen to me, man. Everybody knows that Jerry Jones, I knew 6 months ago that Jerry Jones' mind was not doing right. He out there talking about stuff don't make no sense. See, this is why we need to deal with mental health. You know, my uncle on my mama's side, he was in Vietnam, right? Got some of that yellow stuff up in it. And, you know, since then, you know, he been doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And your mom, she come home, I was a little boy then. We come home, my uncle walking around the table, running around the table with a knife in his hand, saying somebody tried to kill him. Yeah, my auntie said, yeah, you trying to kill you. That's stuff up in you. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is about the mind going bad. I'm telling you, be careful. Be careful when Jerry Jones said, I'm going to do the interview, and he goes to the bathroom, and he come back Krispy Kreme naked. There ain't no need to running out. I want you to hold them mics.
Hold on to it.
We need to get this. We need to get him because now this is proof that something is going wrong with him. And I'm going to pray for him because I know Jerry loves his team. I understand that. But sometimes age can catch up with you. It is what it is. You know, my Uncle Booty, you know, he ain't cleaned this house since it was built. We go around there, it smells like back in ass. Now we trying to decide whether we going to spray or we going to burn the house down. See, this is what I'm talking about. Mental health. This is the same thing with Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis worked this stuff until he got dementia, frontal lobe dementia. Don't wait for somebody riding you around town, man, and your head hanging out the window with your tongue exposed, because now we know it's a problem.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to tell about it, because now, why is his brother and sisters? Why is his family? You see he crashing and burning. I'm going to pray for him tonight, but don't wait till Jerry get naked, because I'm going to tell you something, when they came there to get my office, it is hell to try to take a naked man to the ground. We needed 3 ambulance people and 4 police officers. And then they get there, they try to see which one gonna touch my uncle first. You better touch him or he gonna touch you. And I'm gonna tell you that right now. You do not want to fight a naked man. Just like fighting Bruce Lee, Brian Blind. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm gonna say this in closing. I have a hard time trying to find a damn tax lawyer. And this is when I'm talking about mental health. And I go down there on 4th Fact Main downtown, and let me go back to the back, and the damn lawyer got his feet up on the table. He up there playing with his toes. And I told him, I said, look, man, just for the hell of it, I'll come back. But it seems like you involved with something here. Let me just say this. Do you like the NFL? He said, yeah. I said, who's your favorite team? The 49ers. Oh, hell. Yeah, it would be the 49ers. And what did the 49ers do? They jumped for goal. And that's what he was doing. This mental health. Get this under control. Somebody needs to send a letter to President Trump, because this is not going to end right with Dallas. It's not going to end right with Jerry. And that's all I got to say, Law. I appreciate you, baby.
Man, I appreciate you, Unc, man. Always delivering the best news and the best analogies, man, out there possible. Man, we love you to the moon and back. We love you to the moon and back, Unc. Appreciate you, man. Good call from him. Never a dry day with him, man, especially his storylines and what he's meaning and what he's saying. Those are things that we can all look back on and say, yeah, great altogether, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna let my guy Adam on in a few, but I'm looking for something right quick. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. If I can find it, boy, it's gonna go good with this point here, and I want to be able to get it earlier, but let me see if I can find it. I hope I can find it. If I can just hold back my tears. All right. They say a man ain't supposed to cry. I can't find it, boy. Look, y'all. Look, I can't find it, boy. But I could touch on it a little bit. One of the worst deaths you can see is that Alzheimer's, dementia, and all of that stuff. Because it's watching the person that you love continuously to fight, but they slip with reality, right? Right? And they do stuff that you be like, man, come on. Do they hate me? Or they just losing their mind? And sometimes you just don't know it, right? And it's difficult when you lose a loved one like that. But the early telltale signs would be things like Jerry is saying, right? And they say in order for those people to continue to move and get things going, you want them to continue to work, because the moment they stop working, they gone. They check up out of here real quickly, ladies and gentlemen. They gone. They ain't coming back. They ain't coming back. So that's why it's good to be busy working, because that's what I believe. That's what Uncle Charles is saying. And that's what I believe as well with Jerry Jones. Because sometimes you can be like, hey, man, well, I'm talking to this person. They seem very sharp. Then the next 5 minutes, they eating crayons. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that. It's just like that. And we can get things going. All right, so let's go with Adam, and we get things going from here. My guy Adam from the 623. You're live on the Nation. Talk to me.
You know what they say, well, absence from the body is present with the Lord.
Yes, indeed. Come on with it.
Yeah, so with that said, I do think, looking into these draft picks, because there's not really a lot of bright spots to talk about with this team in terms of like our coaching staff, our players, because I just feel like to a certain degree, all of our players are checked out. So we can argue that, or we can argue against it. So I think it's just one of those things where we gotta look at it like this, I'm a firm believer, always scripture. That's why I always preach scripture. They always said, like, bad company corrupts good character. And I'm under the belief, if we put the draft in front of our new coaching staff, I'm not sure if we're putting the right people in place to build these guys. Because if you're just an X's and O's guy, and with some of these guys not being able to be that as players, it's hard to get the quality or the development out of these guys, because you got a guy in doing out of character things, like he has a lot of rawness to his technique. You have all these players who are just raw, and there's no developmental aspects. And I don't think our staff, you pay for what you get, but
right.
Like I said, it's like we don't get to compress and see what they can be. And like I said, bad company also corrupts good habits. And so, like just like with, Ed and Nerde, how they said, like, they had to unlearn everything they did off the off season to just adapt to Ed and Nerde's scheme. And that's not an indictment on Nerde's philosophy, but that's just an example that some things are just not in line with the others. We talk about D'Amico Ryan and Fred Warner. D'Amico Ryan, he's played at a high level, so he's able to articulate that in a way that Fred Warner can understand and build and develop. Same with Bill O'Brien and Deshaun Watson. Same with Brian Daboll and Josh Allen.
No doubt, Adam. Hey, they said your audio is a little muffled there, and we're gonna have to.
How's that?
Oh yes. Oh my God. Oh, you sound a whole lot better now.
Yeah. So yeah. But like I said, with Bill O'Brien and Deshaun Watson, Brian Daboll, and Josh Allen, you have all these guys who haven't been the same because they don't have that brilliant mind around them. And I'm under the belief, like, it's even with our running back team. This team hasn't been the same without Skip Pete. Skip Pete was a hell of a guy.
Yeah.
It's like when you put a suppressor on a gun, it doesn't take away its damage or its effects. It just silences it, because they say never let the right hand know what the left hand is doing. When you let your ops know that you got a gun and you shoot it, they're gonna know it's there, and they're gonna know to avoid it. But when you put that suppressor on it, they won't hear it, nor they will see it coming.
No doubt.
And I feel like that's kind of like how we are. But one of the things I want to say in closing is, it doesn't matter who we draft or who we develop. At the end of the day, like I said, bad company can corrupt good character. And if who we put in front of our players isn't the right or adequate support, it's not going to matter in the end. But appreciate you all.
No doubt, man. That's a good call from Adam, man. And to piggyback off of that, you can see something tangibly like golf right now. People would get rid of their spleen right now, and one of their, pinky fingers for golf, Jared Goff, But when he went to a system that's built for him, he looks good. In a system that's not, he didn't look that good. First round draft pick. We can say the same thing for Trevor Lawrence. A team, a coach that knows what they're doing, Trevor fool around and going to look good if he get into the right system, right? But it's just like anything. If you don't know what you're doing, and if you're not planning ahead, and if you're not taking accountability, and you have bad company, you will see things spill over, right? So all of these guys, we seen Dak Prescott play at an all-pro level, right? And then we seen Dak Prescott play not at those levels. So what occurred for him to play at those levels? Talent around him. On top of that, properly planning, right? So those are things that you will have to quantify. And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, for anyone says, hey, man, these guys can do it without talent. Well, Joe Montana without Roger Craig, Joe Montana without a Jerry Rice, you know what I'm saying? Joe Montana without a Ronnie Lott. Come on, who will be Joe then? Troy Aikman without Emmett, Troy Aikman without that front five. Come on. So everybody need talent, right? But you got to know how to secure those things. Sanjay says, hey, nah, Law, Jerry doesn't have medical problems. He have ego issues to two completely different symptoms, not to be a spoiler alert for the series Penguin. That the daughter of the mob boss, I forgot her name, she didn't have mental problems, but they forced her to have them, right? They put her in an insane asylum, whereas they can give you mental problems, right? And medical issues and things like that. I wonder if anybody would do that to Jerry, Like, hey, Jerry, come here, man. Now you saying that you regret this, and you talking about Michael Irvin. Are you saying that Michael Irvin is on his team now? Yeah. So everybody need talent. I got my guy, man, from the 201, 100 grand. Hey, you are on The Nation, brought to you by FrenkelFirm.com. Talk to me, man.
Listen, man, and when we draft these guys, man, we got to stop putting them in different positions. That's a problem, too.
Yeah.
When you draft these guys at a position, you play these guys at that position. You don't say, okay, you a safety, now we're going to make you a wide receiver. You a right guard, we're going to make you a left. We gonna cross-train you to do such and such and such and such. Stop it.
Stop it,
Come on, guys. Come on, guys. You know what I'm saying? When you go get a lady, you don't sit there and say, oh, man, she a good cook. You know what I mean? Let me teach her how to clean the house more, man. And because she a good cook. Let me teach her how to clean the house more and stop cooking. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
she a good talker. She a good talker. She can talk, but let me make her yell and scream a little bit more.
Wait a minute.
Even though she's sensitive and she's soft, let me make her a little bit more hard. You know what I'm saying? Come on now.
I want her to be quiet and make me a sandwich, bro. I don't want to talk. Yeah. Make me a sandwich, baby. I don't want all that talking. I don't want all that damn talking shit.
Yeah, I didn't say that.
Yeah, I said it, shit. I want all that talking shit. I do enough talking about all about. I don't know about what. Would you hush and make me a sandwich? You know what I'm saying?
Hey. The wife must not be at the house. Little acting up.
Oh my gosh, boy. Man, but you know, it's up to you, man. Do you want to talk to Darius, man, or y'all want to? What you want to do, man?
Man, let's go, man. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, man. All right, man. I got my guy, man, for the 214, Darius. Now we want a nice, unique decorum. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Order. We can go one at a time.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Since you've been asking for me, go ahead.
This shit is already started. Come on. Yeah.
Thank you. So first of all, the first point that I want to address is this whole point about, it's not going to matter what coach you got because you still got Jerry Jones. That's BS. Because the reason why it's BS is because it's like, what's the point of being a freaking fan? If you saying if Jerry Jones don't step down, he's not. Spoiler alert, he's not going to step down. So if he's never going to step down, and it's not going to matter what coach you get, then there's no point of being a fan, right?
Grand, I guess. You know.
Listen. Let me tell you something. Go back. Look at Jason Garrett. Look at Mike. Look at the press conferences. Put them side by side. And you tell me, is that not Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones' speech?
You didn't answer my question.
I am answering your question. We got a problem.
How you answering my question?
Okay, let me break it down because I get it. Okay, all right, let me dumb it down. All right. The answer is you can be a fan, but our expectations are low. Our expectations are we need to wait. We need to just see. We can't go into a season, man, we're going to make the playoffs this year, man. We got that type of team. No, it's y'all got to show us. We got to see from game to game. We can't go like the Chiefs. We're going to make the Super Bowl, man. We the Kansas City Chiefs. You cannot talk with your chest out. No more. Because the Joneses have taken that away from us. That is what I'm saying. That is what I'm presenting. That's the truth. Joe, you can talk with your chest out. That's what you're sitting here telling me. You can talk with your chest out.
So now my question to you is based off of your point that you just said. So is this a new epiphany that you having, 100 grand? Is this something new that you just figured out?
This been going on forever.
So what's up with all the predictions that you be making?
The continuation, because when Mike got in here, they fell back a little bit, and we seen it. Mike started to coach, even though Mike had to bully his way into his position, because Mike had to deal with Kevin Moore. He had to take Kevin Moore out. He had to. Whatever. We all know. Whatever. We know his name. He had to take him out, right? He had to take him out because the Joneses picked that boy. So now that last year did not turn out the way that we wanted it to be, the Joneses are like, Mike, we snatching it away from you. You're going to do it our way. That's why we see us losing. Because the Joneses are worried about 2025. So they didn't put this team in a position to win, period, at all. Period. It didn't take for this season to turn out to be like this for me to see it. This started in the off season. They ain't spend no money on nobody. Cause that was the plan. Period. It's not that these players are garbage. They knew what they were doing. And Jerry Jones is selling hope to keep the people interested because come on, man, you want to keep the money coming.
All right, so let me interject. Let me interject right quick. Put 100 in the chat if you in favor of 100 grand on this debate, and put D in the chat if you Darius. Pause. Put D in the chat. Y'all get what I'm saying for Darius, or put his whole name in there. So let's get. But right now, Darius, he got you against the ropes, man. I ain't trying to pull no favors, but he got you against the ropes right now, bro. Let me hear your rebuttal. Let me hear your counter. What's your counter?
Here's the thing, though. It's funny how 100 grand all of a sudden got this. That's why I asked him, is this a new epiphany? Because ain't this the same 100 grand that said, oh, we finna go on a winning streak. We finna go on a winning streak. Oh, watch what we do. Watch what they say when we do this. Ain't that the same $100,000? So how he got me on the ropes?
Last year, I said winning streaks when we started off low. Last year, I said winning streak. I ain't never come on here and say, you know what, man, we're about to go on a 9-game, 10-game winning streak this season.
I got you.
Law, have I ever came on here and said, that wasn't me. That was somebody else. That wasn't me.
Oh, okay.
I ain't never say we was going on a 5-game, 3-game winning streak this year. Law, have I ever said that?
You said it last year. That's why I had to go send you that package. Remember I sent you that hood?
I got you.
You said last.
I'm gonna send the evidence. Law, I got you.
You got me?
Okay. I listened to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did I say we going on a 5-game winning streak this year?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I never say that.
My hand like this. I know somebody said it because I had to go get them a jersey.
It wasn't me. Somebody said it. It wasn't me.
I had to go get them a jersey if it happened. I think it was
was it that other guy? I forget his name. The other guy. He said Cooper Rush was going to go on a winning streak. Cooper Rush was going to win all them games.
Yeah.
And he lost. He lost.
Yeah. Cool.
It wasn't me. I forget who it was.
I'm gonna bring the evidence because I know what I heard when I heard him say that. I'm like, so damn, ain't nobody gonna call him on this. If we lose these games, ain't nobody gonna say $100,000. You're wrong, brother. You're wrong. I got you. So I'm gonna bring you the evidence.
I was the guy that said they were sabotaging Dak Prescott before the season even started because they didn't make no moves.
Got you. I don't want to rattle off these last couple points because I know a lot got to go. So this is my last few points. So the only reason why I'm calling you out is because number one, you did mention my name, brother. I wouldn't have no reason to bring your name up. So the issue that I had with you is now that you all of a sudden you got convenient amnesia. So when I was calling in the law, I'm sticking to straight the point. I'm talking about straight football. I ain't talking about nobody else. So this is the point that I had with law. So my thing was I was trying to tell law, listen, Mike McCarthy versus Dan Quinn. Y'all gave Dan Quinn way too much blame, and y'all gave Mike McCarthy no blame. And so now Mike McCarthy, his ass is getting freaking exposed. And so now I'm telling you,
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far with Mike. I wouldn't go that far with Mike. I'm gonna tell you why. I wouldn't go that far with Mike. And you're not gonna say, look at Dan Quinn. That is a totally different situation. He don't got to deal with the restraints that Mike McCarthy got to deal with.
See what I'm saying?
Mike McCarthy can't coach.
You can't make it up. You can't make it up.
You can't make it up.
Can't make it up.
Dan Quinn can't make it up. All the players on Washington. All the players on Washington said they all about football over here. When has a Dallas Cowboy player came out and said, in Dallas, we all about football over here?
Was it the same?
Tell me when. You can't tell me when.
Circumstances when was going
Yes,
okay,
and I'm going to tell you why. Hold on. I'm going to tell you why. What's the difference?
Go ahead, make it up.
Law saying, hold on now. Law saying is even a garbage can could catch a steak, right?
For 3 years straight?
Hold on. Go back to the first year. Hold on. Go back to the first year that they went 12-5. And you look at those Mike McCarthy press conferences. Was he or was he not fighting with Kevin Moore? I don't like the option routes. I don't do that stuff. Right? Facts. Even though they went 12-5, this was a war going on. And it continued. Then, when they got win, hold on. You told me to prove it. I'm proving. Even though you win, even though the outcome is a win, does not mean that your home is good. You could put a whole bunch of great pictures on social media about you and your girlfriend or you and your wife, but when the camera, hold on. When the camera shut off, it's chaos. It's chaos. What do you mean gymnastics? What do you mean? How am I doing gymnastics? I'm speaking facts. There's no gymnastics going on.
Why he ain't running the ball right now? Who's stopping him now?
Who's stopping them now? He don't got the team now because they didn't put no money behind the football team. I just told you that 5 minutes ago. I just told you that 5 minutes ago. What are you talking about?
Bang the gavel. I don't want to hear that. It's over with for this guy. Get it up out of here. Excuses.
Every football player that leaves the Dallas Cowboys flourish, and the main thing they say is it's all about football over here. Every Cowboy player say that. Period. So what does that tell you? And every Cowboy player also says it's politics over here. They determine who get the football. They determine who plays. Hey. Shh. There's some secrets about Zeke that they don't want to let out. Zeke been doing a whole bunch of crazy shit that they not letting it out. They not letting it out. So what does that mean? Favoritism. Favoritism is going on. Zeke can do whatever the hell he wants to, and everybody can do what they want to, and it's not concentrated on football over here. Why do you think Mike McCarthy now? Why do you think Mike McCarthy now is throwing the Joneses under the bus now? He laughing at them now because he know his contract is up and he can leave. Ain't nothing cute. It's chaos over here in Cowboys land.
Well,
you're not going to sit here and tell me that there's a great
in closing,
and everybody go on, man.
Let my guy Darius get your final rebuttal, and then we'll let 100 get his.
This is my last point. When Mike McCarthy had full autonomy with the Green Bay Packers, his last couple seasons, matter of fact, his last season, the one that got him fired, they got that ass fired, they got that phenomenal good ass fired. He went 6-9-1. They got his weak ass up out of there. The very next season with the same team, that team went 13-3. So the team got better once he left. Crazy. So as soon as he got to the Cowboys, guess what his record was? It was very similar, 6-10 in 2020. But there's gonna be some more excuses about that. I rest my case. I'm done.
All right.
The
100.
person that they kept, Aaron Rodgers, also left that team. And Aaron Rodgers is terrible now, right? Look at the Jets record. And he's the coach of the team. You forgot about that, right? Oh, we forgot all about that. So are you going to blame that on Mike, or are you going to say Aaron Rodgers has something to do with that? I think I won that one. So goodbye. So
appreciate y'all, man, for the debate, man. I love the debates, man. That's 100 grand versus Darius. Cowboy Nation, boy, woo, we since we got nothing else to talk about, man. We're gonna start doing these type of debates, man. And I'm gonna have to get one of those points, like stickers, like this person get a point, that person get a point. I'm trying to think of a show that they used to do, like a reality show, game show. It's the tip of my tongue, but that was a good debate, man. I get where Darius coming from too, though. Mike McCarthy, when they gave him full autonomy for the Green Bay Packers, they didn't look good, right? And then when he got fired, they brought in they elevated the young guy. What's the coach now is for the damn Green Bay Packers? His name tip of my tongue. LaFleur or something like that, Matt LaFleur. And they turned it around, I think they went back to back 13-3 or 13-4, whatever. They won some games. I think Aaron Rodgers won MVP back to back or something like that. Matt LaFleur, appreciate y'all. But they still didn't win they lost to the same team we lost to in the playoff. They lost to the 49ers. I remember that. Yeah, they lost to the 49ers. And then Mike McCarthy got over here. He started off really bad. My thing is with Mike McCarthy, to 100's points, it's a circus here. It's a lot of clown activity. It's a lot of Jerry Jones meddling, and Mike McCarthy came in with a mindset of smashing watermelons and putting red jerseys on players, taking names off of the back of players. So it's just crazy, man. We don't know. Like, maybe this Mike is the right Mike, but the problem is he got no tools now. To a point, we do know, to a point, what strengthens 100 grand's point here, y'all, is that y'all name me one move, just one move of what the Cowboys did to improve this team for the 2024 season. Name me one move. I'm waiting for the people in the chat.
Goodbye.
All of the people that was online, man, I'm going to have to circle back to y'all. Around the horn. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do, Justin. I'm going to have around the horn. Boy, you good, Justin, baby. Boy. Yes, I was thinking of that. Around the horn. Yes, we're going to have a around the horn segment. And we're going to have healthy debates. I'm going to create the little Tony Reality is his name, right? They was doing around the horn. I'm gonna create the little boxes and stuff, and we can do the points. I'm gonna create around the horn here. I'm gonna build it out, and we gonna get it. This gonna be part of the show. I'm gonna implement around the horn. T Roy 88 says, I guess bringing in Eric Kendricks was the only one move that the Cowboys made to help solidify this team. So, yeah. And William says Darius won. So, I love this. I'm definitely going to create a poll, and it's going to be around the horn. Around the law or something, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely creating that now. I love the interaction, man. We're gonna pick 4 people daily, and y'all go toe to toe with each other. Not just be the guy that I'm gonna get a gavel and everything. We're gonna set that up. Yeah. Definitely gonna do that. We signed a long snapper. Don't get sued by ESPN though, CeeLo. You ain't lying. Shoot, people be ready to sue my ass. Doing too good over here. They be like, hey, he doing good. Let's sue him, Yeah, it's going to be around the law or something, or law around the horn or something, something like that. Call it voice wars, we can do that too, Ice Cold. Appreciate you. Law and disorder. Yeah, because you got to put that, because I can't go with law and order. That's already capture there, All right. They traded for Mingo. This is the law show. Yeah, I like that one too, Justin. Boy, yeah. Boy, y'all on it, man. Yeah. And before we do anything else, man, I just want to tell y'all, man, I appreciate y'all so much. If you guys can help the nation, be sure to download Underdog and use that app there and use promo code LawNation. We growing over here. I really appreciate the Underdog for sponsoring this show. Shout out to Frenkel and Frenkel too for being unbelievable with their support of the nation. Let me see if I can find this right quick. Let me say this though, because I want to give credits, because my guy, the reason why I'm doing, I like the law school idea. Oh, I don't like it. I love it. Ooh, the law school. I'm thinking, but I want to give credit to this because me and Sky, we talked about this a couple of years ago when Sky first started. And I wanted to give credit to my guy Shango, because he's the reason why I'm doing content creation to this day, right? But Shango back in the days was very innovative, and he did around the horn. And me and Scott talked about it where we can, create a template and stuff like that. But time lapse and things happen, right? But I wanted to show you guys my guy Shango's versions of this right here. See, Shango did it first. Don't y'all be sleeping on Shango, dog.
You guys are idiots.
It's old school.
Here we are with 4 of the best or worst personalities in the internet. You be the judge of that. But they're here to give you your opinions on fantasy football. Let's go to work. Okay, guys, who's out there on the waiver wire?
I can rebuild
pick
this.
Up now. Shango Adonde, you first. I say pick up Tim Hightower for the Arizona Cardinals. He's had 5 touchdowns in his first 5 games as an NFL player. That's worth any roster spot on any fantasy football team. Look for him because he's getting goal line tackles and it looks like carries throughout the season. Okay, Woody Shango. I say go get Cedric Benson because Chris Perry can't seem to hold on to the ball or average over 3 yards per carry. So Benson already has taken over goal line duties and he will take that start.
Boy, you know this old.
All right, Shango Ellie. Now that Scott Lanahan has been kicked down on his butt by the Rams organization,
Scott Lanahan.
It's time for Mark Bulger to come back in. So pick him up. That offense will score touchdowns. They may not win games, but with Torrey Holton, Steven Jackson, and Mark Bulger, they should be able to score. So he's a good pickup this week. All right, Shango Smith. I've got to go with Mike Walker here. He's
Boy, Shango, cold-blooded. Y'all better stop.
Last year, he's having a heck of a year, and he's almost Garage #1 shot. So he's been giving up solid numbers the last 2 weeks. And I
Shango, the greatest YouTuber of all time,
Mike Walker, good pick. Nobody's feeling Greg Camarillo from the Dolphins. Well, I like Camarillo. Give me a top bye-week replacement or sleeper. Adonde? For me, it's all about Jason Campbell going up against the Rams secondary. The Rams
Jason Campbell!
And the Washington Redskins for sure will win the game by a lot, and that gives a lot of opportunities for Jason. Okay, I got you. Woody? Jeff Garcia or Brian Greasy? I tell you what, you can't run on the Carolina Panthers.
This gold material right here.
They're going to beat them. They're going to have to throw the ball. So I predict a big day from Garcia. Jeez, guys, just get the answer out. Shango Nelly. Hey, did you guys see Gus Frerotte turning his Minnesota Vikings around? And next week, they have the Detroit Lions, who have one of the worst defenses in the league. They're going to be so preoccupied on trying to stop Adrian Peterson that Frerotte should have many opportunities to take advantage of. And Shango Smith. None other than a man himself, LaRon McClain.
Yeah.
He's doing awesome. I watched him run last week. He's big, he's strong, he's powerful. He's going to get those goal line carries for the Baltimore Ravens. And it looks like he's going to get a lot of opportunities this year. Looks like anybody's a good start against that Colts defense, huh? Well, looking at the score, Shango Woody, you're out of here. Any last words? You cheated. You cheat. You always cheat. You never do me right. I always get kicked off the show. I always have the best answers to it. I had to mute you. Sorry.
Yeah,
Next,
I'm going to have to do that.
We'll talk about T.O. He's still talking in Dallas.
T.O.
What is he talking about now?
This had to be old, man. Yeah. Oh, my gosh, man. Shango the legend, man. Oh, man. Let me see when he did this video. That ball said 16 years ago. 16. Shango did this. Man, that's why he the Godfather. He the GOAT. Shango did that. It states 16 years ago. He did that 16 years ago. And it still looked like damn good production, man. Let me share this link, man. I want y'all to go in that chat, man, and say, Shango. You know, a blast from the past, man. Hey, we ought to start a series like that. Cowboys losing so bad, we going to have to start doing other alternate shows. Blast from the past, what they said in the past, you know. Yeah. Yeah, 16 years ago, man. Hey, click that link right there. Go check out my guy, Shango, my brother from another mother, man. He's the reason why I started my content page and everything. He is the Godfather. Look, man, Shango, he's him, man. Appreciate y'all, man. So he put BSP. I'm gonna have to get the graphic overlay, man, and but he says fantasy, so he was doing fantasy stuff. Yeah, so around. Ooh, you won. Around the star, baby. Oh yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that with your boy Law Nation. You know, we do something similar to that template. You know. Yeah, around the law and order, but I like that around the star, baby. Appreciate y'all, man. I got a business meeting that I got to get to, but I appreciate those who called in. I know we gave my guy Darius and my guy 100 a long time. to debate each other. And I know you guys wanted to jump in around the boys. Well, I don't know, but yeah, we gonna figure it out. You know, it's gonna be a segment. We're gonna have graphics, overlays, and all of that stuff coming in, and we'll have 4 guests. Yeah, and we'll time it. Maybe we'll cut out and chart out maybe 20 minutes of the show with that, and we let the audience. I fought the law. Yeah, I like that. Creativity is a major thing, not a minor thing. It's been voided here. It's been absent here. It's been that. We got to figure it out, ladies and gentlemen. We don't like this team. Don't we? Sooner, Joseph, Timon, Verdi, Bobby, Ice Cold, Tony, and them, Herbert, Carey, Bear 24. We don't like this team. We don't like the Cowboys. We don't. I don't like the Cowboys. We love them. We love this team. Some of y'all are in love with this team. DC for life. Y'all want to know when you in love with something, whether it's good, bad, happy, or sad? Loving you whether times are good or bad. That's where we at right now. We love this team. But do they love us back? They taking our love for granted. They're using us for our money, our riches, our passion. They squeeze everything up out of us. And we'll be back in this abusive relationship. And it's terrible. It's terrible to see other teams do for their team. Other teams go beyond the fray. Other teams saying, I'm only focused on winning. I only focus on the bottom line is to get to the Lombardi Trophy again. They're scraping, they're crawling, they're scratching. They are doing anything and everything beyond their way to make sure that their team can win a football game. If it's a free agent pick, they got a few dollars, they figure it out. They don't sit on $27 million. They don't pay their coaches dog food. They don't put their coaches in a situation and scenario that he's in a lame duck season to make him the easy target. Not one single move this offseason to help elevate this team. But we seen thousands of moves being played for RuPaul and Jake Paul and all of the Paul brothers to get here versus Mike Tyson. They move almost damn near heaven and earth to have that event here. And Jerry gets out there smiling, grinning, seeing all 32 teeth, whether they are buttery or not. Saying that now we got a proof of concept that the NFL can be on Netflix, working out deals to fatten his pocket and to buff up his generational wealth while we are out here getting the crumbs from the master table, right? We are the underdogs. Shout out to Underdogs for sponsoring this. Because that's who we are as fans. We are the walked on boys. We are the doormat boys. We are spit upon, ridiculed, scoriated, cast aspersions on boys, right? We are, y'all ought to be happy because what we did in the 90s. Well, let me not feed y'all since 1990s, you know, and let me know how you look. That's who we are. That's where we at. It's sad to see that there's not one person that can say, Jerry, you said that there's no amount of money that you will be willing to spend to get back to the Super Bowl. And there's nobody in media with the cojones, with the balls, to put them in front of Jerry and say, hey, how come you're paying your coaching staff only $4 million, and the teams that get the results, they pay their coaching staff $20 million for the head coach? How come you walk around boldly with the ideology to say that you the sixth winningest team in the National Football League, but you only got 4 playoff wins in the postseason? We know that you pay for what you get, because you didn't pay cheaply to get this stadium here. You didn't pay cheaply to have the Star in Frisco. That's like buying a Ferrari and putting the cheap gas in there. You get what you're getting. You are not about winning Super Bowls. You still putting raisins in the potato salad, and everybody said that they don't like raisins there, and you forcing us to eat it. As Cowboy fans, it's not fair. Do the right thing. Sit down. Let somebody else with football knowledge and wisdom and understanding handle this. Sit your son down, because he don't have any levels of financial security or information on how to run the salary cap. Because that's what he mentions the first time anything happens. We got to pay attention to the pie. Well, if you keep using that as an alibi, you're going to forever be where we are at. Because other teams, they draft well, plus they dibble and dabble in the free agency. Newsflash: the last 15 Super Bowls won, you can look back at what they did in free agency. And that's not up for debate, because you can't argue against the truth. Free agency plus draft equals Super Bowl. Draft plus no free agency equals the most winningest team, or the 6th most winningest team in the National Football League since 97. And you can't out-debate that, because that's nothing but the truth. I wish someone dare to try to debate me on that, and they would lose, because I got data, historical data on my side. You got to dibble-dabble in free agency plus draft, and then when you are down a little, you got to do trades. You got to have that acquisition. Mama said these things: if you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad that you don't get tired, and it makes you hold everything tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you will gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, or plan, to lose all terror of your mind, if you would simply, just simply go after the thing you want, if dogged and grim and besieged and beset, with the help of Almighty Cowboy Nation, and ice cold Cowboy said those numbers were also false. It's the 11th winningest team, not the 6th. So that's even a. I'm glad you did the fact check on that. Yeah, appreciate you, bro. Yes, Mama said there will be days like this. Jerry forgot to carry some numbers over. But let's go, Cowboy Nation. stand tall or not at all. DC for life. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, in the words of the last guy that was on the team when we lifted up that Lombardi trophy, let him speak.
Give me my theme music.
Come on with it. Come on. Appreciate y'all. One love. Hit the like, share this content, subscribe, share. Sharing is caring. Yeah, it's a long time. Somebody saying Prime old and gray now. Prime don't even have all of his toes now. And he was the last guy to win the Super Bowl for the Cowboys. Where my shame button at? Prime got a whole silver beard over here. Come on with it. Around the star. Come on with it. Charge it to my beard. Come on. Who will law, baby? You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. Come on. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it, baby. For the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer. Call it what? Hey. Oh. Lately, I just wanna. Come on, baby. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. Count a check a song. Come on, baby. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up. Count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. I just be off the dome. I never own no chrome. Too many foes and clothes. Yeah. I be at home alone. I be in zones alone. I be on road alone. Yeah. I've been really in the field. Love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Where I would be comfortable. God never sends me where I would be comfortable. He always sends me where I'm uncomfortable. That it's my job to make things comfortable. So no matter what life presents you, don't stop doing what you've been called to do. I built my life around my kids. God never sends me where I would be comfortable. Not me. They was based on what was good for them. So I take pride in that. Ain't no baby daddy. I'm a father.
Man. Woo-wee! There's no growth and comfort, baby. And he goes places where he's not comfortable. Muscles don't grow under comfort. You got to tear them down to build them back up again. Life, rubies, diamonds, gold don't grow or don't be created out of just substances without triple heats and pressure. Come on, baby. So I'm just saying, I'm just saying. Are you not entertained? Come on with it, baby. Let's get on up out of here. One love.
They can come closer than close.
Yeah. I'm not saying he gonna be here. Can do you like law? Nobody, baby.
Who can do you all night long? Nobody, baby.
Oh, low. A man will go to the edge of the earth to defend and protect his offsprings. DC for life. Let's get it. Write that down.